the last few days, one of the hottest stocks of 2017 has finally given you a pullback. I'm talking about Cara Therapeutics, C-A-R-A, which was put on my radar screen when Tony in Utah asked about it back on March 6th. Cara is a biotech focused on finding novel ways to treat pain, with a stock that's run up more than 80% year to date. Although in the last few days, it's pulled back. It's dipped from 20 down to 17 and change. Now, pain is one of the trickiest areas in medicine at the moment. We have plenty of drugs that can deal with pain. The problem is that in many cases, the cure can be worse than the disease. Witness this horrible opioid epidemic as people are abusing pain pills at record rates all over the country. That's why this Cara is so interesting to me. Companies trying to design new painkillers that selectively target the body's peripheral kappa opioid receptors, meaning some of the receptors in sensory nerves and immune cells located outside of the brain. The idea here is that they can eliminate some of the horrible side effects of old school opioids by going after a different pathway, killing pain without also causing addiction, constipation, nausea. For example, Cara's lead drug, where we just got some positive phase 2 data last week, is designed as both a painkiller and an anti-itch drug. And so far, it's proven both very effective and seemingly much less addictive than traditional opioids. Plus, they've got a couple of other phase 3 drug candidates for chronic and postoperative pain in the works. Now, Cara just did a 4.45 million share secondary offering last Thursday, $18 a share, which is why the stock has pulled back. So could this be the buying opportunity? Let's take a closer look with Dr. Derek Chalmers. He's the co-founder and CEO of Cara Therapeutics to learn more about his company and its prospects. Dr. Chalmers, welcome to Mad Money. Good to see you, sir. Have a seat. Thank you.
Jim, pleasure to meet you.
All right, to some degree, I have to ask this. Sounds too good to be true. How can it be?
Well, you know, we worked on this for a number of years. This wasn't an overnight development for us. We developed this drug from first principles, and with the specific idea in mind, as you indicated in your introduction, we could build a better opioid. This is a drug that doesn't enter the CNS. We don't interact with traditional opioid receptors, and we concentrate on receptors found in peripheral nerve endings, as you indicated, and immune cells. So we produce our analgesic benefit in the absence of any central nervous system or brain side effects.
Now, are you going for orphan drug designation, or are you able to come up with something that also allows millions of people to perhaps take it?
Certainly not orphan for the pain indication. As you know, one of the most common conditions, unfortunately, here in the U.S., chronic pain affects 1 in 3 individuals, some 100 million individuals here in the U.S. If you're unfortunate to be one of those patients, you're going to be prescribed, as you indicated, one of 2 types of medication, either a traditional opioid like OxyContin.
Right.
You've indicated the issues associated with those drugs.
Talk about it a lot.
Or a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug.
Which doesn't necessarily work as well.
With other interesting and rather debilitating side effects associated with that.
Now, have there been areas of the body in pain besides some of them that you're working on now that it could work on?
Well, we think by virtue of the mechanism, this is going to be effective really in all types of pain. So we think it's going to be particularly useful in inflammatory pain. As you indicated, we find this receptor in immune cells. We find it in joint cells, for example. And we're running a very large trial right now in osteoarthritis patients, some 400 patients, that will read out later on this quarter. Okay. So we think this is a drug that can work across pain types.
Did you raise enough money to be able to get through these trials? We've learned something since I started the show. Trials do not take a couple of weeks. They take years and years. Do you have enough money to go through to the end?
Right. So first of all, this was a perfect time for us to raise money. Right. As you indicated, it was a 52-week high. Great for the company, great for our shareholders. We wanted to strengthen our balance sheet. With this money, we can take the indication of uremic pruritus, or chronic kidney disease-associated pruritus, all the way through to new drug application. That covers that indication. We can also take the indication related to acute post-surgical pain, which is currently in phase 3, and we can take that all the way to new drug application. So this covers at least 2 of the possible labels we hope to get with this medication.
How important is the anti-itch indication?
We think very. This is really a very underserved market. Unlike pain, where we have some current medications that have some efficacy but issue with side effects, itch is really an unmet need. And there's some 20 million patients here in the U.S. across various conditions: chronic kidney disease, chronic liver disease, dermatological disease, unserved by any medication.
Okay, but let me ask this. This seems, why hasn't someone else come up with this? I mean, we've got this epidemic. It's killing people all over the country. Why has not someone else come up, one of these big guys that we hear about, the Pfizers, the Mercks, come up with something that can save millions of lives right now? Why is it Cara Therapeutics?
No, that's a terrific question. And this is the most important aspect of this drug we're developing, is the chemistry. The chemistry we've developed here is very unusual. It's a molecule that when we absorb it at normal pH in you and I, it doesn't cross what we call the blood-brain barrier. The blood vessels that keep obnoxious, toxic substance out of the brain, this molecule won't enter the brain with this type of chemistry we've developed. That's the key. Heretofore, no one was able to meet that challenge with novel chemistry, and that's why we have the clinical profile we have.
Wow. Well, I'm rooting for you because of America, because of what's happening in this country, but also, obviously, it would be fantastic for shareholders. Okay? That's Derek Chalmers. He's a doctor. He's the co-founder and CEO of Cara Therapeutics, C-A-R-A, obviously a breakthrough speculative company. But if it works, wow, they have money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.